And welcome to another amazing episode of Phoenix Rising Live. And the topic today is the now of power. To avoid any copyright infringements. No, I'm just joking around, but I was thinking about the idea of the power of now, which is obviously a book. But what about the now of power? What is that? And it's really the understanding that now is the moment of power, and all of your power resides in this moment of now. And the more you realize that your power source is in this moment and nowhere else, then that idea of achievement or gaining something, or the idea of, I have to do something outside of myself and get to that goal in order to feel accomplished. Yes, of course, there's merit in achieving things and accomplishing things and feeling good in doing that. But when you understand that you are the power source and it's all coming from within yourself, and so it's not because you achieved the thing that you feel better, it's because you decided to utilize your own power to give yourself that experience. And so these are subtle distinctions, but there's a tremendous amount of power and clarity and productivity in how you view life from this standpoint, because the challenge that then happens if you're dependent on achieving something outside of yourself in order to feel good, in order to feel powerful or fulfilled, and then what happens if you don't achieve it, or you don't achieve it in the way you thought you would, or you don't achieve it in the timeline that you felt you should have, right? That's when resistance and resentment and doubt and neglect and things of that nature start to arise. So when understanding that every moment is a perfect moment and all of your power resides in the moment, then you're never looking externally for anything. You're just saying, hey, I have everything I need right now, and I have everything I need right now, etc., etc. It's all here, it's all now. And you become the magnet for attraction. You become the magnet for powerful experiences, for prosperous and happy people entering your life. Because if you think about what is life, it's perfection revealing itself. The veil is consistently being lifted at deeper and deeper levels of consciousness for you. And as that veil is lifted, beauty reveals itself. And so life is beauty. And that's really the idea of understanding that everything is perfect. Then you begin to see the beauty is always in the present moment. So that's why this now moment has all your power. It has all your perfection. It has all the beauty you could ever need for this perfect moment. And so as you ascend, as you climb this ladder of consciousness, beautiful things transpire in your life more and more. And even the things that may have been unexpected, that surprise you the way they are manifesting, it's still seen as being perfect. Even the process of losing a loved one, losing a pet, going through the grieving process can be an experience of joy and beauty when you recognize that it's a transitional period. It's not an end. The thing that brings on the depth of grief or sadness or resistance is feeling like there's some kind of end here. This means something, and it means something bad. And that's a core definition ruminating for many humans in their subconsciousness. So your job is to root that stuff out, to look at it, shine the light of your consciousness upon those negative definitions, and allow yourself to move forward with this power, with this moment here and now, because everything is here and now, and your power to transform your perceptions is in this moment. And you can transform your perceptions to the exact extent required, because to make the full transition isn't always necessary. A caterpillar doesn't transform into a butterfly in a moment. And yes, it's true, your perceptions can shift and change in a moment, but they don't necessarily need to. At least they don't necessarily need to change and transform in the way that you want them to, or expect them to, or maybe insisting upon them to. They're always going to change, because every moment is a unique moment, never to be experienced again. And that reminds me of the story which I've shared before, I'm sure, but it's a great story. My late fiancée Gail and I went to this retreat spa called Gail Springs here in the Toronto area in a town called Bancroft. And this Grail Springs, it's built on a spring water supply as well as a crystal quartz bedrock is in its near vicinity. And Gail and I were hiking on one of our days there and going into the nearby forest on which is part of the property. And there was this dog named Ojo, O-J-O, Ojo, and a medium-sized dog, not sure what type, one of the owner's dogs. And so he lived on the property, and he would guide you to this crystal quartz bedrock in the forest, and he would walk you along the path. And the path was pretty self-explanatory, but it was very unique to have the dog guide you, because otherwise you might end up somewhere else. And it was just a great experience overall. And the most unique thing about it is watching this dog Ojo sniff all the plants and claim his territory as he traveled down this path, guiding Gail and I. And it was as though he was experiencing it for the very first time, sniffing around, exploring, curious about so many things on this path. And I really admired it because I knew that he'd been there for several years and likely walked this path hundreds, if not thousands of times, yet he was exploring it as though it was a brand new experience in every moment. And because animals don't have that conscious mind that interferes, that resistance to life in general, and obviously there's exceptions where they have trauma and things of that nature, but in this case, a healthy minded dog exploring every moment as though it was brand new, every plant, every animal, every smell, every scent, as though it was brand new, being experienced for the very first time. And I learned so much in that 1 or 2 hour adventure with Gail and Ojo, and realizing that every moment really is unique. And even though it looks the same, even though this background, when I come on the lives, it looks the same, but it's not. It's being experienced differently. You're experiencing it differently if you allow yourself to. And the challenge, the belief, the negative definition that you may be holding in mind is that it's just the same. It's just the same. But even in experiencing that definition, that idea, it's always different every time you experience it. Even though it feels the same, it's not. It's impossible, because every moment is all of existence being experienced from a new perspective, a new perception. So by allowing yourself to have that freedom to explore and be curious about the moment, you automatically reclaim your power and you utilize it in the best way for your growth, for your inevitable success, for your connection, for your creation, for your celebration with all of life. And that is the message of Phoenix Rising United. Phoenix Rising Live is about living in the moment, uniting with the moment, uniting with your brothers and sisters here on this planet, knowing that we're all here to help one another. We're all here to support one another from a level 5 perspective where we're all winning. A win, a win, a win, 3 ways around for every party involved, every circumstance. Every person is complemented when you're viewing life from this perspective. And they may not necessarily like it if they're coming from their ego, because in some senses it's being perceived from their angle as being forced to change, but that's simply not what's happening. It's natural evolution taking place, and natural evolution absolutely involves change and transformation. So yes, if you want to be on this 5th dimensional ride, you must change and transform and allow yourself to evolve in the most magnificent way. And if you're prepared for that, then I invite you to join me on my journey here at my masterclass every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And of course, in the communities that I'm building, tonight is the Quantum Goal Activation class at 9 p.m. Eastern Time in about 45 minutes. So if you're ready for change and transformation and to lift your consciousness to new heights and allow your own radiant light to shine upon the earth, and sharing your gifts with others so that we can join together in balance, peace, harmony. That's what this reality is. That's what paradise is. And this is the reality that I choose. If you're in alignment, then please join me in this now moment of power, where you are very powerful, creating your reality moment by moment. And I look forward to joining with you and seeing you either tonight or on Sunday. And I'll see you on the next episode of Phoenix Rising Live. Bye for now.